This is why many elderly people will not live past 65. Fix this before it's too late. They don't tell you this when you're young, but there's a moment that sneaks up on you. One day, you wake up, and the world starts treating you like you're part of the past, like your best stories are behind you. People look at you differently, not with hatred, but with something almost worse: dismissal. You feel it in the way conversations shift, the way your name slips off the guest list, or how no one asks for your opinion anymore. And it's subtle, so subtle in fact, that many people just start to accept it. They begin to believe they're no longer needed, no longer relevant, no longer alive in the ways that matter. But let me be clear right now. Just because you've turned 60, 65, 70 or beyond does not mean life is over. Not even close. What is over, however, is the illusion that age equals decline. That's the lie. That's the trap. And it's killing people long before their time. You see, many people don't die in their 70s or 80s. They start dying at 65, not because their heart stops, but because their will does. Because they've been programmed to believe that the moment they stop working, stop parenting, stop being the provider or leader or achiever, their purpose disappears. Retirement becomes resignation. They stop moving. They stop dreaming. They stop connecting. And that invisible shift, that quiet surrender, is what takes them faster than any illness ever could. This isn't going to be one of those sugar-coated smile and nod talks that tells you to just stay positive and drink more water. No. This is real talk. This is for the people who want to fight back, not with bitterness but with fire, with wisdom, with strength. This is for the ones who know they've got more to give, but maybe forgot how to tap into it. Or worse, were told not to bother. Let's be blunt. There's a reason why many elderly people don't make it past 65. But it's not fate. It's not just the body giving out. It's the soul being silenced. And today we're going to uncover the truth behind that. Not to scare you, but to wake you up, because if you're still breathing, you're still becoming. And if you're still here, you're not done. So whether you're in your 60s or 90s, or you love someone who is, lean in. This might be the most important conversation you have this year. Number 1, the silent killer. Giving up before you're gone. You want to know what kills faster than cancer, heart disease, or even a fall. It's not something that shows up on an X-ray. It's not a diagnosis your doctor can hand you. It's the quiet voice in your head that whispers, "I'm too old for this." It's the moment you stop showing up for your own life, not because you're incapable, but because the world convinced you to step aside. Retirement, for many, is not a break. It's the beginning of the end. And not because people suddenly become fragile, but because they start to believe they no longer matter. After decades of building families, careers, communities, and surviving every possible storm, the message people get at 65 is, "You've done enough. Now sit down." So they do. They sit down. They slow down. And when the mind believes the story that life has no more meaning, the body listens. It loses the will to fight. Energy fades, curiosity dies. That spark, that invisible force that once made you jump out of bed, try new things, laugh at the unknown, that spark dims, not because of age, but because of absence. Absence of purpose. Here's the truth. Purpose is oxygen for the soul. The human spirit was never built for stagnation. That's why some people live vibrant lives into their 90s, and others fade by 66. It's not genes, it's grit. It's not age, it's attitude. Look around. Some of the happiest, most fulfilled people didn't hit their stride until later in life. They didn't retire, they reignited. They found something new to serve, to learn, to love, to create. Because as long as your heart beats, you've got a reason to show up. So ask yourself honestly, have you stopped becoming? Or are you still evolving? Because the moment you stop dreaming, you start decaying. But the good news? You can flip that switch back on at any time. Start small. Wake up with a goal. Call someone. Plant something. Learn something. Teach something. Don't wait for the world to hand you purpose. Make it. That's how you outrun the silent killer. That's how you stay alive, not just breathing, but burning. Number 2. Motion is life. Why stillness speeds up death. Let me tell you a harsh truth. The body was never designed to retire from movement. We come into this world kicking, reaching, crawling, running, and we were meant to keep going. But somewhere along the line, especially after 60, we're told that slowing down is just a part of aging, that it's safer to stay still, that our bones are too brittle, our joints too stiff, our energy too low. So we start sitting more, walking less, napping more, risking less. And slowly, the machine that is your body begins to break down, not because of old age, but because of disuse. Let's be clear, stillness is not rest, it's rust. When you stop moving, your muscles weaken, your heart gets lazy, your circulation suffers, and even your brain starts to fog. Motion keeps blood flowing. It strengthens your immune system. It balances your mood. It sharpens your memory. It literally keeps you alive. Now, I'm not saying you need to run marathons at 80. I'm saying move your body like your life depends on it, because it does. Take a walk, stretch while you watch TV, do some light squats while brushing your teeth, dance in your kitchen, pull weeds, lift light weights, climb stairs, do anything that tells your body, I still need you. Because the body listens. When you move it, it adapts. It grows. It fights for you. There's a reason why people in so-called blue zones, places with the longest living populations, move constantly, but casually. They garden. They bike. They walk to the market. They don't hit the gym for hours. They simply live in motion. And they keep moving well into their night. Compare that to the average person who retires and starts living between the couch and the bed. The body deteriorates not from disease, but from lack of use. So here's your mission. Move more today than you did yesterday. And do it again tomorrow. Not for abs, not for vanity, but because you're still alive and your body deserves to feel that. Motion is proof of life. And as long as you're moving, you're not done yet. Number 3, the loneliness epidemic, dying of a broken connection. There's a kind of pain that doesn't show up on scans. It doesn't leave bruises. You don't get medication for it, but it eats away at you just the same. That pain is loneliness, and for millions of older adults, it's a slow, silent heartbreak that steals years from their lives. It's easy to miss. You might have a roof over your head. You might even be surrounded by people. But if no one really sees you, if days go by without a meaningful conversation, a real hug, or someone asking how your heart is doing, you're not just alone, you're at risk. Loneliness doesn't just feel bad, it's dangerous. Study after study has shown that chronic isolation increases your risk of heart disease, stroke, depression, dementia, and even premature death. In fact, being socially disconnected can be as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Think about that. And the worst part? It's not always your fault. Family moves away, friends pass. The world gets louder and faster and somehow less personal. Calls don't come as often. Invitations slow down. You sit in silence more than you speak. But just because the world grows quieter doesn't mean you have to. Humans were built for connection. We were made to listen and be heard, to hold and be held. Connection isn't a luxury, it's a survival tool. And you still have so much to offer. Your stories, your laughter, your wisdom, they're needed. Someone out there is waiting to hear exactly what you've lived through. Someone needs your voice, your presence, your perspective. Don't wait for connection to find you. Go find it. Call someone today. Write a letter. Join a group, even a virtual one. Go sit in a park, strike up a conversation, volunteer your time. The world isn't done with you. You just have to step back into it, because loneliness shrinks your world, but connection expands it again. Number 4, the diet of decline. How we're eating our way to the grave. Let's get something straight. Food is not just fuel, it's information. Every bite you take tells your body something, either to fight for you or to break you down. And far too many people over 60 are unknowingly sending the wrong signals every single day. We grew up in a world that taught us convenience was king, that sugar was harmless, that meat was the meal and veggies were decoration. And many older adults are still eating like they're 30, while their bodies are quietly begging for something different. The truth is, as you age, your nutritional needs shift, your digestion changes, your cells need more protection, your immune system weakens. But most people don't adjust. They keep eating processed food, loading up on sugar, neglecting hydration, and skipping meals altogether. And then they wonder why they feel tired, inflamed, foggy, or depressed. The body is screaming for nourishment, and we're feeding it poison in shiny packages. But here's the good news. You can reverse a lot of the damage, starting today. Because food isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Start simple. Eat more color. Real food. Things that grow in the ground. Leafy greens, berries, nuts, beans, clean proteins. Cut the sugar down. Watch the salt. Stay away from things with ingredients you can't pronounce. Drink water like your brain depends on it, because it does. And don't just eat for your body, eat for your brain. The right nutrients can help protect against Alzheimer's, dementia, depression, and anxiety. Omega-3s, antioxidants, vitamins, they matter now more than ever. Remember this, every meal is a chance to heal. It's never too late to change your diet, and it doesn't need to be extreme. Just intention. You've got so much life left to live. Don't let a fork be the thing that shortens it. Number 5, the dangerous myth of mental decline. Let's clear up one of the most destructive lies ever told to older people. That your mind is supposed to slow down, fade, and eventually stop working the way it used to. That after a certain age, forgetting things is just part of getting old. It's not always. And not to the extent you've been led to believe. Yes, memory changes with age. So does reaction time. But so does wisdom. So does emotional intelligence. So does the ability to see the big picture. And while the brain may not be as lightning fast as it was at 20, it can still grow, still learn, still adapt, if you give it a reason to. The truth is, most people don't suffer cognitive decline because their brains wear out. They suffer because they stop using them. When you retire and no longer face daily challenges, when routines become predictable, when new experiences disappear and conversations become shallow, the brain doesn't get the stimulation it needs. It starts powering down, not from age but from neglect. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, doesn't stop at 30 or 40 or 70. Your brain is plastic until your last breath. But only if you feed it. Only if you stretch it. Only if you believe it still has something to do. You know what kills a mind faster than any disease? The sentence, "I'm too old to learn that." No, you're not. Read books. Learn an instrument. Pick up a new language. Play memory games. Do crosswords. Use your non-dominant hand. Watch documentaries that challenge your thinking. Have real conversations about ideas that matter. Talk to younger people. Listen to their world. Share your world in return. Because when your brain realizes it's still needed, it gets to work. And when you stop accepting decline as destiny, you give yourself permission to grow again. Don't let the world define your mental limits. You still have chapters to write. And your mind, it's still holding the pen. Number 6. Wisdom ignored. How society loses when elders stay silent. Something tragic is happening in our world today, and most people don't even see it. We are drowning in information, but starving for wisdom. We have endless facts at our fingertips. We can Google anything, watch videos, ask Siri, but knowledge without perspective is shallow. And perspective comes from living, from trying and failing and trying again, from decades of love, loss, struggle, triumph, disappointment, and joy. Perspective comes from you. And yet too many elders are being taught to stay quiet, to take a back seat, to feel like their stories are outdated, their values are irrelevant, and their voices are no longer needed. That's a lie, a dangerous one. Every time an older person silences themselves because they think no one wants to hear it, the world loses something irreplaceable. We lose the lessons no book can teach, the real-life wisdom no classroom can offer, the strength that only comes from surviving things the younger generation can't even imagine. But it's not just about society losing out, it's about you losing yourself. Because when you stop sharing your truth, you disconnect from your identity. You shrink in the shadows of your own story. You are a living archive, a library of insight, and libraries are not meant to be lost. Don't underestimate the power of your presence. You don't need to be a motivational speaker or write a memoir to be impactful. You just need to be you, fully. Tell your stories, mentor someone, speak up when something needs to be said, share what worked, share what didn't, let others learn from your fire. And don't think for a second that your struggles disqualify you. They qualify you. Your scars are your authority. They prove you made it through things that tried to break you. That's powerful. That's valuable. Society desperately needs your wisdom. Your family needs it. Strangers need it. And maybe, most importantly, you need to remember it. Because when you speak your truth, you don't just teach, you heal. This world has plenty of noise. What we need more of is grounded, lived truth. And you, my friend, are full of it. Number 7. The power of legacy. Living on by living fully. We all leave something behind. Whether we intend to or not, we shape the world in our wake. But here's the thing most people get wrong. Legacy isn't something you leave when you die. It's something you build while you're alive. Legacy is not about money. It's not about awards, buildings named after you, or long obituaries. It's about the impact you make on people's hearts. It's about what people will remember when they think of you. Not just what you did, but how you made them feel. And for many people, the tragedy is not that they didn't leave a legacy, it's that they believe they were too late to start. That's false. Some people don't even begin their most meaningful work until after 65. Colonel Sanders? He started KFC in his 60s. Grandma Moses didn't pick up a paintbrush until her 70s. Nelson Mandela became president of South Africa at 7. Their stories aren't exceptions. They're proof that it's never too late to become what you were meant to be. You may have raised children, built a career, overcome illness, fought through grief. You've already lived a dozen lifetimes within one. But if you woke up today, then today still matters. You still have a voice. You still have a choice. Legacy is built in the small things. The stories you tell your grandchildren, the neighbor you help, the handwritten letter you send, the wisdom you pass on, the courage to get up again when your body aches, the decision to be kind when the world isn't, the refusal to give up when life gets quiet. Every single day you're writing your legacy. Not for fame, but for the people who will one day whisper your name with gratitude. Live in a way that makes someone else believe they can too. Your legacy doesn't begin when you die. It begins the moment you realize you're still alive for a reason. Conclusion. Choose to live fully, starting today. You've made it this far, through storms, through seasons, through every twist and turn life threw your way. That alone is a kind of miracle. That alone is proof of your strength. But now, here's the bigger question. What will you do with the time you have left? This isn't about fearing death. This is about choosing life. Fully, intentionally, fiercely. You've heard the reasons why many don't make it past 65. Not because of their bodies, but because of the stories they started to believe. That they were done. That they were no longer needed. That slowing down meant stopping. That age meant invisibility. But now, you know the truth. You know that when you give up, your body follows. That stillness steals vitality. That isolation drains your spirit. That poor habits steal your clarity. That mental decline is not destiny. That silence robs the world of your wisdom, and that your legacy is being written right now, by every choice you make today. So what will you do? Because life doesn't end at 65. For some, it's just beginning. For others, it's entering its richest, deepest chapter yet. If you've still got breath in your lungs, then you've still got fire in your soul. It doesn't matter what the calendar says. It doesn't matter what the mirror shows. You are not done. Stand up, move forward, reach out, speak truth, fuel your body, sharpen your mind, share your story, leave a mark. Not tomorrow, now. This is your time not to fade, but to shine. Don't just exist, live.